Hi, everyone. Welcome to another Linfield Coaches CatChat. Joe Stewart here with head women's basketball coach Casey Bunn Wilson. Coach, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Let's get into your last weekend. And unfortunately, an 0-2 weekend here at home. Not what you ever want, but still a lot of good fight in both games. But first, starting with that Friday night loss to Whitman, obviously, you guys are still a young team. And this year's improvement, has been awesome to see. The single season turnaround from this year to last year. But, it's a tough league. You're fighting through a tough middle of the pack, and we know at the top of the league there are some really top teams, not just for the Northwest, but for the entire country. So considering Whitman may be one of those upper echelon teams, kind of same things we saw in the Puget Sound game, what do you think right now kind of separates those top tier teams from your squad and kind of the rest of the teams in the middle of the pack this year?
Yeah, I think experience plays a huge part in both of those teams in particular. Both UPS and Whitman do have a lot of experience. I think that's the biggest one. They're both very disciplined, well-coached teams. What separates them, it's different, right? Because there's such different teams with very different styles. Like you said, our league is very tough, and there's some teams in our conference that have beat them, and it feels like it's anybody's game. But the separation, I think, is that experience that we just can't get yet, but we will, and I know the future is really bright for our program. But yeah, just the experience, the discipline on offense and defense.
Yeah, so with that discipline, turnovers were an issue in both games, but particularly against Whitman. How do you mitigate that issue going forward? Especially, you got a decent amount of young guards or guards that haven't, had to have the ball in their hands a lot until this point in their careers. How do you mitigate that going forward?
Well, obviously that's the glaring stat from the weekend, 31 or 2 and then 21. You're not going to beat anybody with those kind of turnovers. So, and a lot of them, unfortunately for us, and something that we've been working on in practice this week, they're unforced. So they're just us seeing the reads late or not seeing them or not being strong with the ball and not valuing each possession like we should. And that's something that we're really focusing on these next few weeks to finish out league and going into the second half is just we have to value the ball. We have to, we handle presses decently well statistically, but we're just creating unforced turnovers for ourselves, and so that's our decision making. I think it's plays into it as a little bit of lack of experiences in those situations, and so right now I take them as growing pains. Like, we have to work out the kinks, we have to continue to lean into the hard stuff and fight through those types of situations.
But positively, that the team has still been playing hard, even when things maybe haven't been going their way, and a couple unforced errors. They've still been able to fight in the trenches, and we've seen that with the rebounding. Now, a positive rebound margin in 6 of the last 8 games, positive rebounds against both Whitman and Whitworth. What has led to the success on the boards over this last month or so of the season? We knew it was a little bit of an issue early on. Seems like that's been solved. And what does it say about this team that they kept fighting on the glass even when things weren't going their way this weekend?
Yeah, so rebounding is attitude, right? It's being relentless. It's going to get an extra possession. So obviously that's been our focus, defense and rebounding, and it's really nice to see that we have been positive on the glass the last few games. But at the same time, it shows that my team has just been digging a little bit deeper, and they've been gritty, and we've had to gut some games out. And so it just shows their toughness and, like I said, continuing to work through the growing pains.
Janessa Niga has had a career-high 19 points against Whitworth, was really shooting it well in that game. She's been an interesting development story, as she was really a role player up until the last few games of the year last season. And this season, of course, in her senior year, you've had her be in the starting lineup pretty much every game, I think, and have asked her to step up quite a bit. How do you think she's handled that role, becoming a much more focal part of this team than she was the first 3 years of the program?
Yeah, her role has changed and developed and grown drastically. The biggest thing with Ness is keeping her confidence regardless. She's had some games where she's done really well statistically and games where she hasn't, and just continuing to keep that confidence and know, right decisions to make and win, and it's a lot to put on her plate, just like, okay, this is your role now, and you got to make it work. So she's been doing a great job. She's taken it on with grace, and I'm really happy that she had a successful game last week.
kind of in that same vein, we've seen a lot of the same kind of stuff out of Jordan Worthington, who had to really fight to get her spot in the starting lineup this year. And it seems like every game she comes out with as much fire as anybody and is always ready to take it right at the opponent. What have you liked out of Jordan as she's taken a bigger role this year as well?
Yeah, same with her. Like, she's worked very hard for that role, and I know she's wanted it for a lot of years, and so to see her be more successful and getting more minutes is a testament to her work ethic. And she spent some time playing in Chile this summer in her study abroad program, and I think that gave her a lot of different types of experience and maybe a little bit more confidence in her game. And that's the biggest thing in my players. Like, we're going to go through hard stuff and we're going to do hard things, but continuing to be confident through those is going to be huge, and it's going to be a testament to how we finish this season. So, yeah, I've been really proud of her. She's the type of player that every week, Coach, what can I do better? Coach, what do you need from me, Coach? And I love it because she feeds off of that feedback, and so it's been really good to see her develop and be successful.
All right, looking ahead to this weekend, another tough test, as it always is in the NWC. Friday night, you host a Pacific, and we know that is a team that has been trying to break through to the top of the Northwest Conference, and just a testament to how difficult this league is, that they haven't been able to yet, but they put together a tough performance against you guys that first time in the Northwest Conference, first Northwest Conference meeting of the year, the struggle on offense, particularly in that first half. How do you come out on Friday night and be ready to score the basketball right out of the tip?
Well, those games, right, the first round with these guys was a long time ago. So I think they were playing against two different teams. I think we're a much different team. So, I obviously hope it ends in a different result. But I just watching their game film, both teams are playing really well right now, but they're different than they were at the beginning, and so are we. And so it's going to be, Pacific's playing well, Fox is playing well. So it'll be a good test for us, but I think we're more prepared than we were early December.
Preparation is key, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So the Wildcats will be hosting Pacific on Saturday before visiting George Fox, had that backwards. Hosting Pacific on Friday at 6 o'clock before visiting George Fox on Saturday at 4. Coach, thanks for the time and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.